I think it looks more attractive now. I think it looks more inviting to come in.
I can't lie, it did feel like I was watching two movies. Yeah, I mean, if they feel like they want to put massive TVs here that we can't hear the music that they're playing, then fair enough.
As always, I think the food is too expensive. Even the £2 meal, the saver meal, I think doesn't have enough nutrition and stuff inside of it.
Clearly they've done an upgrade, and I think in terms of like what they're offering, I don't know if it's that different than what we had beforehand. Like, I don't know if we need TVs, like 17 TVs in the room.
It looks a lot better than it did last year. I can see myself coming here a lot more often, like in the gaps I have between lectures and stuff.
It's like mainly like Mexican or Indian, those kind of cuisines. They could include other countries' food as well.
Honestly, I like the food. Beef a little bit dry, but I prefer the chicken.
Working behind tortilla is a lot more pleasant, there's more space. And I actually think the room is a lot more colourful and nicer as well.
Well, you do have variety, it's all quite expensive to use, so yeah, there's that.
Comparing to last year when we basically only had tortilla and the university's restaurant, now we have multiple options varying from different nations. It's more appealing to international students as well as English people when they want to try exquisite cuisine.
It used to be like really dark and like the decoration was like really outdated and it wasn't really accessible. Like if you hadn't eaten there before, it wasn't really obvious how you would eat there. So you would have to ask someone, or if you were really shy, you just wouldn't do it.
I think it's better now that they have different stalls for food.
I can't vividly remember what it was like before, but I know that it's definitely got more colourful, which is quite nice.
To be honest, I'm not really for it. I'm like, that money could have gone somewhere else, like Chichester or Pevensey or any of the other like old buildings.
It'd be kind of cool if they showed maybe, I don't know, the news or maybe like a Netflix series. That'd be kind of sick.
It looks a bit expensive, but it's like normal prices if you go to town, so I think it's correct.
It's good pricing for like what it is. I don't think it's too high or too low. Yeah, I had chicken katsu curry.
I've heard that was good.
Yeah, it was really good.
Back then, there was just so easy to find a seat to sit in, but now it's a lot more crowded. I'm assuming like after a couple of weeks it's going to empty out though.
It's a sustainability officer type thing that works here, and she does an excellent job at trying to lower the carbon emissions here at Eat Central. Behind me to my right is the new recycling station with a lot more variety in where you can place the different stuff because of the different types of plastics that are used here. My one criticism of that is that I think the labels aren't particularly clear. For example, one of the bins just has takeaway above it, which isn't massively specific as to what goes in them. It doesn't really go well with it when there's a language barrier as well.
Yeah, it feels a lot more open. It feels like you can get around much more easily. The tables aren't quite so cramped in.
I'm seeing from a lot of tables that the food is actually a good quantity as well.
But I think I'd come here maybe to try just stuff out. There's a fish and chips section that looks really good over there. So
there's a lot of TVs now. Like there's TVs in almost every booth. There's like nowhere you can't see a TV.
I much prefer it now.
The atmosphere is a lot nicer. From what I've heard, all of the food places are really good as well.
So my favourite menu is for £2 and £3.50 Sussex saver. It's got to be. And they're always delicious.
And I like that they've kept the cheaper, more affordable food deal over there. Yeah, and there are some comfier seats, which are always an improvement.
I think they kind of did it for the wow factor of new students coming in. Like they've got this really nice student eating area. Like it seems really nice, but for what is kind of my opinion.
The way Eat Central worked before, it functioned, it was fine, it offered food on a university campus, and that's what, was needed. Do I think there's any downside to having more variety of food and, making the place look nicer and cleaner? No. So necessary? Possibly not. Is it nice and I prefer it? Yes.